the simple things down, the things that you don't really need a lot of skill necessarily to accomplish, and then we'll build on the skill. AIC really working on their skill level, their attacking play. They scored 110 points last week. I think it's going to be harder for them to score 100 this time.
It's going to be much harder, especially with the home crowd in audience here, and we're going to have Iona. It's going to be kicking off. Iona in white and maroon, and AIC in black, just in case you were wondering. We're also joined in the booth here from time to time by Rugby Wrap-Up's Matt McCarthy. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, gentlemen. A glorious, glorious day for rugby as we set for the kickoff. Take it away.
All right, Santi Mascola set to go, and referee Gilliam. Referee Greg Gilliam set to get the game underway. And here we go as Mascola puts a nice high kick up. And Iona nearly comes down. I thought I spotted a knock on there from Scarcella, as did referee Gilliam. And we're going to come back. It's going to be a first scrum of the game here, nice and early, but really great kick.
Well, it was almost major problems for AIC. They targeted those outside backs. They targeted Royale Jones, the freshman, not very tall man, and they sent a couple of tall guys in to chase it.
And we have Curtis Werner, the scrum half, getting ready to put the ball in, looking back for Kabir, seeing what Kabir wants to do. Referee Gilliam wants to get this set. As Bryce Standback, the Greenwich High School product, looks there, and here's the ball away from Warner to Kabir. Kabir looks around the back, and early attack here, looking to go into the middle of the field from AIC, and quick ball, quick recycle, and there they are once again on the attack, and we got some runners coming back here. As we talked about, that really, really strong Iona defense just rushing right up there.
Well, look how quickly they get back in their line as well.
We have a first near break of the game as AIC tries to keep the ball in play, but nothing happening there as we're going to have an early line out. And we have AIC's fullback down for the moment there, Mikel Magistral.
Yeah, Mickey Magistral, I don't know what happened. He seemed to be grabbing his knee, very unhappy. That's a blow to AIC, but they do have depth in the backs, and still they want that guy in the back, behind the back line, just sort of directing things.
All right, we have a short break here as they tend to him. And Mickey Magistral is back up and ready to go as microphones are falling all over me. Give me a second. Okay, I'll try. I'll do the best I can. Thank you. I actually asked. I said, Magistral. Here we have a first line out of the game to Iona. As I step in, and you know, it's really interesting there. He does kickoffs, he does line out jumping, and he's outside center in Mascola. But they go right to Scarcella, and we have a forward pod here coming through, and there he is again. Big Mascola, the Rye High School local boy. As we come into the ball, as they're out to Mike Marrow. Mike Marrow looks outside, steps back in. You'll see a bit of Standback, looks to a couple of forwards there, as the big number 8 had a room through. Marrow again, knocking in the back there, but Mascola comes up with it. Well, again, Scarcella, the big runner, hit hard by that AIC defense. As Standback puts it out there. Good set of play here as a 6-foot, 200-pound Reese Humphrey drives the ball in, and now Marrow's got some space out wide. Let's see where they go here as Mascola, one more time, called into it early. Good big runs here from Mascola early.
I don't think he's going to see Iona want to go all the way wide much. They turned the ball over there in the contact, though. That's bad for them.
And we'll see as the ball rolls to the side of the field and out in touch again. Had that ball gone to hand, we'd be looking at something very different.
You see the phases there. And the phases is what Iona wants to do. They want to frustrate AIC to a certain extent. They weren't able to break through much in the first attempt, but we'll see better from them as the time goes on.
And that, you know, Iona's going to be a bit concerned about that. Go through a few good phases there and then turn it over. You know, if you keep stringing together the phases, and then turning the ball over, it's going to make for a long day.
Yeah, it is. You know, it discourages you for sure. And turnover ball, that's the best attacking ball. AIC would love a lot of turnover ball.
And number 8, Matthew Jones, the English-born, the English major, player for the Florida Juice.
He's also, but he is English.
That's what I thought. And here we have Mascola again, nice lineup ball, working well like Bruce McLean thought it would. Scarcella can't handle it, and that ball is all over the place, but Standback moves it, and here comes Scarcella down through and loses that one. As we have an advantage here to AIC. We're going to go back for another scrum.
Well, that was exactly what they want to do. Let's pound it up the middle. Let's force them to make some tackles. You know, the old thing about run at the branches, not at the tree trunk. Well, they're running at tree trunks, and they're going to knock them back, but you got to hold on to the ball as you go through. Promising for Iona, ends up knocking it on.
We have another scrum here to AIC. The senior Curtis Werner set to put the ball in. Ball in the back. Jones's foot there. Jones just scoops it up, moves forward a little bit, but knocks it on while he's doing it. And great work there by Iona, really putting some pressure on the set piece.
Well, we talk about a Bruce McLean rugby team. Those teams are going to scrum well. He's going to make sure that tight five knows what they're about. And they wheeled that a little bit, shoved him back a little bit, just enough to put Jones under pressure. I don't know how much pressure he's been under in the scrum. You know, the AIC is a terrific team. They've played one game in conference that you would call really challenging, BC, Boston College. That was a tie. It was a great game, very good Boston College team. But, you know, how much pressure have they been under in the scrum?
They're up today. A Standback there gets at the football. Standback again. Well, change there as Iona gets penalized.
That was John Keane popping up for Iona. So that is a right there. John Keane
and AIC just says, you think you can do it? We can do it a bit better. And penalty here as AIC lines it up. Good touch finder there by AIC. It's going to be an AIC line out and a great attacking position.
AIC, let's
so really just, you know, 6 or 7 minutes into this game, Alex Goff, what do you think?
This is the first time we've really seen AIC in the Iona half. And they've got a line out here. They have an attacking opportunity. Right now, this is going exactly the way Iona wants it to go. But this is a chance for AIC to turn it around right now.
Ball goes up the middle of the line out there for AIC. And there's a number of Iona players that have to drag him to the ground. Kabir standing wide there as Werner goes in behind to Stephen Fobbs, the junior prop. Little pop up there, and Jones is out wide. Jones steps back in. Realized he was on his own there, keeping the ball alive. Werner once again gets it to Tommy Clark, the freshman from Olympia, Washington. Now looking for somebody here, looking for Kabir. Kabir looks back inside for Marquise Williams, Virginia Beach native, as Kabir gets it back in his hands. Kabir steps one. The USA Sevens trialist gets caught up in a contact. Falls into the fullback there with a big hit. I mean, Mickey Magistrali. And thwarted there.
Well, really nice work from AIC.
Really
they mixed it up. I saw that little quick pop pass back inside from Kabir out to Williams. Well, that was very pretty. Iona held tough on the defense. Nice to see Tommy Clark get a little look there from my hometown and my home club, Bud Bay Barbarians. They've had a couple of guys from Bud Bay Barbarians come through AIC. So happy to see him run with the ball a little bit. But in the end, I think we ended up with a penalty, a knock forward in contact by AIC. So ultimate sort of a win for Iona for holding on.
We'll see how Iona can hold on here way inside their own zone.
And John, Iona doesn't care. They'll defend all day.
Absolutely, that's part of their game plan, and we'll see here as Standback set to put it in. Referee Gilliam makes sure everything is fun and happy in there. And the ball has been taken against the head there by AIC. AIC pops up. And I think the ball might have come straight out there as we're going to reset another scrum here. Again, we're looking at the freshman stand back. Puts the ball in, squeeze there by AIC, and Iona in a bit of bother here as the ball comes around. From our vantage point, we can't see exactly who has it. Oh, Iona hangs onto the ball.
Long lad, right in front of him.
And Iona here rolling the ball forward. There's a couple of pick and goes here, trying to keep it tight. Make some room for Marrow to possibly kick it away as the AIC defense reshapes. And there's the ball. They're having to be forced to run from their own line there. A lot of pressure on there. Really, Iona may want to think about getting rid of this. The stand back just pops it up to one of their forwards. Work to not go very far at the moment.
Well, we heard that they weren't going to do much kicking. They might want to think about kicking now. There they go and go for touch. And this is one of the things that we heard Bruce McLean talk about this. He said when you kick it all the way out. Get it into the crowd so there are no quick line outs. You don't expose yourself.
And we're going to go to Rugby McCarthy here with some thoughts on the game and the Iona lineup.
You know, following up what you just said, Alex, about the kicking game for Iona, a couple of weeks back I did the University of Buffalo versus Iona match, and the number 13 for Iona, Santi Muscola, is a freshman. He's also jumping in the lineouts. He's also their goal kicker, but he's not kicking necessarily on penalties because he's not yet confident enough on it. Interesting note.
And we have a knock on there by big number 8, Matt Jones. And we're going to have a scrum here. Bit of a choppy start to this game. Just over 10 minutes in.
Exactly what Iona wants.
I'd have to say that's true. They don't really want to get into that, running match with them. Scrum here to Iona. Plenty of scrummaging practice today, and after the last couple of ones, I don't think this is where Iona wants to spend their day.
No, we talked about the scrum. We expected the scrum to be good, and then right after that, Iona got rocked backward twice. Kind of disintegrated, too. This is partly an issue. They did have some disciplinary issues. A couple of guys are getting sat down. John Delara, I think it is, who is moved to hooker. He's normally a flanker. That's something that's a big shift for them. And normally, Iona, they change guys around all the time. And you ask the coaches where people used to be, and it's like, I got a wing and fly half, and I got a flanker who now is a scrum half, and a wing who's now a prop. That kind of stuff happens all the time. He just moves people around. But a late move like that, getting Delara into the front row, that might be difficulty for them here in the scrum.
All right, we have another scrum here. Yeah, Delara, you were talking about, was a blindside flanker, leading try scorer for this team, now in hooker. Bruce McLean says he's up to the task. And here we go with yet another scrum. For all you front row aficionados at home, this is certainly a game for you as Werner puts the ball in, well hooked there by Delara, but that ball is tossing around in there, quick up by Standback. The Greenwich High School Cardinal product as they make their way across the game line, pushing back that AIC defense, and Standback, I think, does the smart thing and puts the ball back over there. As fullback Magistrali comes down with it, Magistrali moves it to the wing. One tackle broken, 2 tackles broken, and broken away here is AIC.
And that's Christian Adams on the left wing. He's a senior. They've got 2 guys on the wing with crazy hair. One's a freshman, one's a senior. Christian Adams is a very big boy. He was an All-American. He was a high school All-American. Then he was an All-American as a freshman and kind of fell off a little bit. And I think it was mostly about fitness. And he's come back fitter than ever this year. It is shown in his play. Not so much the try scoring, although he does that, but it's everything else. And some nice tackle breaking there from Adams.
Yeah, getting back to Standback, his mom prepares post-game meals for both squads, which is probably the most important contribution.
Absolutely. Mrs. Standback, you have our stamp of approval as another ball goes forward, almost in the same exact place. I think we're going to have the 15th scrum on the same spot here as Iona is going to get set to put the ball in.
I'm not sure it was the last time AIC hadn't scored in the first 15 minutes. It's got to be frustrating for them, but this is exactly how Iona envisioned this game to be in their best case scenario, which was being physical in defense and defending a lot. They knew they were going to defend a lot. It's 0-0. Iona's perfectly happy with that right now.
Gents, we just sent our man Trost down to eavesdrop on the respective coaches' camps, so we'll get some more tidbits in a second.
All right, sounds good. As AIC is able to turn that one over, and Kabir gets it out there, and Magistrale puts it out to the freshman wing, but push it a little forward there as Royale Jones couldn't handle that. And we'll come back for yet another Iona scrum.
Well, right in their face, forcing a mistake. The passing is a shade slow from AIC because, for the most part, defenses try to contain them and worry about being sidestepped so they don't come up really hard. Iona wants to come up really hard. They're willing to sell a few missed tackles to do that.
Matt McCarthy, it's a new day for our sport because our wing is calling for a hair tie over here.
And I am, count me jealous. My kingdom to call for a hair tie.
And here we go as the ball comes up. The captain, Petteruti, takes it to the left, but well handled by some AIC defenders. And ball not turned over as AIC tried to get in there, and referee adjudged that they kept their hands in there a little bit too long.
You know what? I gotta say, if you're gonna call for the hair tie, you can't be doing that. If you're gonna go with the hair, you gotta deal with it. That's end of story.
And we have a penalty. That penalty was for hands in. And Marrow, we watched him do some kicking practice yesterday. Kicks it up, and one of the University of Mary Washington players fields it. You'll see Mary Washington, the mother of this country, play against Temple at noon today. Hopefully you'll hear it too.
Yeah, hopefully he'll hear it. There's a shortened line out from Iona this time.
And he is their target there as Mascola. He is something else. And they send Scarcella, not surprisingly, barreling through the middle of the field to get some go forward. And here they go again through Mascola. That center combination is really, really important to this team.
They need a few more Italian names on the Iona roster.
If they split between Italian and Irish, it's a true New York team here. True New York rugby team here as Standback moves it, and Petteruti looking for a way through, but keeps his feet and pushes the defense back as he crosses the gain line. And now the ball gets moved to Scarcella. Scarcella to Mascola. The ball back to Marrow. They are really playing tight here. I think there's one player outside of the 15-meter margins for Iona. They really know how they want to go about this. But ball turned over there, and Kabir has the ball in his hands. And there goes Jihad Kabir. Jihad Kabir, fresh off some time with the USA camp, stretching his legs. And the Perry Pride product, with his former coach Tal Bear in attendance, dots down for our first try of the game.
Hey, turn over the ball is the best attacking ball. Jihad Kabir, he's a special player. He was not running full out on that. He is faster than that. He runs as fast as he needs to.
Come on, let's go.
He had help out there, but it was that patience on defense from AIC was very impressive because Iona said, we're going to challenge you up the middle, or we're going to make you defend us. And they did that, and then they ripped the ball out, and then quickly, pass, it's gone.
Kabir listed at 5'11", 215. I'm not sure he's gotten his back to make 215, but certainly a quick runner.
Yeah, that's a generous 215. But he had like a Perry Baker-esque kind of glide, and it didn't look like he was even giving it full throttle. And just of note, we have a very rowdy, happy contingent of Yellow Jackets fans here. And so they've made the trip.
AIC lines up for the conversion.
Come on, turn it up! All the way up!
And no good there as
Conversion is no good. AIC leads
this U-Rugby Bowl game between American International College and the hometown Iona Gales. As once again, called to the front is going to be Santi Mascolo.
But John, everything's going the way Iona wanted it to, except those turnovers. You cannot give the ball up in contact, and that'll kill them if they continue this way.
Again, they go to that short side, and Scarcello and up by AIC comes down with the ball, no problem there. Ball goes out into hooker Blake Gergel's hands. Gergel puts a little tip pass away, moves him forward. The ball is back out there. Werner standing in at first receiver. The ball moves out there to Christian Adams. Christian Adams thinks about somebody else and keeps it himself. As Werner sets in and gets the ball back to Gergel, the 5'9", 190-pound senior. Werner again, this time finds Kabir. Kabir's got a big runner. Misses him and finds some space. And Kabir is in space again. Tries to step one, little fancy footwork, but loses the ball there. Well played by Iona, and offsides kicked ahead by AIC after that. And I think Kabir just got a little bit ahead of himself there.
He tried to make it all happen right there. He sidestepped a couple. He did have support with Matty Jones, but he had way more Iona people around him, needed to take contact.
Yeah, and it was nice to see the way they utilized Jones as a dummy there, and then freed up the sprinter.
And here we have Mike Marrow finds touch safely. Marrow doing a good job here. The Bishop Hendricken, really impressive program there in Rhode Island. Has produced about 3 or 4 of these kids from Iona, and you know they're playing St. Bonaventure, a lot of other great schools. Really great rugby program there in Rhode Island.
Hendricken's doing a great job, and you know they have been playing in Massachusetts. We understand that maybe they're looking for a different conference to be in. An excellent program for many years in Hendricken, and we're seeing a lot of kids from the Massachusetts and New York area in these teams, but also from elsewhere. Perry Street Pride, there's 3 guys from DC in AIC and all the way from the West Coast as well.
And a turnover at the line out there, got the ball back into AIC's hands. And just an errant pass winds up with Magistrali having to take the ball into contact. And here comes a bit of forward run here as Matt Jones takes a little tip pass there. And Werner, quick ball, but quickly wrapped up by Petteruti. AIC continues to roll forward. Forwards are trying to make a little space here. Nice bash there as Tommy Clark moves the ball, and Kabir forced to kick a little bit. Didn't really have a lot of play there, and ball goes directly into touch. We're going to come back to about the midfield here for an Iona lineout.
You know, when I do a little bit of coaching, I usually end up talking about kicking, and I ask players, why did you kick? Even when you're doing a scrimmage, why are you kicking? You got to have a reason for it. And there, if Kabir was going to kick, he was going to kick because they weren't really going anywhere. He needed to get some distance, and instead he just hooked it into touch on the full. Ends up being a line-out to Iona in the AIC half. You got to understand what he wants to do with that kick, which would have been to kick and chase it.
Mascola there comes down with it. The ball goes back into Marrow's hands, and Iona gets her line out together.
Following up on what you were saying, Alex, Billy O'Connell, one of the coaches for Iona, is excellent kicking coach. He was an excellent kicker in his own right for the New York Rugby Club.
Marrow looking for some space there as Iona stringing together the phases, looking to make something happen here. And, you know, anybody's guess would be they're going straight up the middle with this as they once again bring the ball forward and stand back to Marrow. Marrow slips it wide there. Ball goes into touch there as it was Colby Marshall, the Piscataway, New Jersey native. Put the ball into Matt Crow's hands there. And sorry, not Matt Crow. And we're going to have a line out here to AIC.
You know, with these suspensions, there would be four starters that were healthy that were scratches, and 5 total if the other guy was healthy. But Paul Burke, the forwards coach, assistant coach for Iona, was one beast of a loose forward. And you can see that with the way the Iona defense and the flankers cover the field.
AIC bobbled ball there going back, swarmed by some Iona defenders. as ball stolen there. And here goes Iona on the roll. There's Greg Amity. Gets that. Comes in. Here's Scarcella. Scarcella to Marrow. Marrow moves it wide there. LeVar, that's not LeVar James.
Keep it in the middle.
Let's say that's Matt Crow from Chaminade High School. They just switch numbers. Chaminade.
Get the ball.
And here we go again as the ball comes back to some of the forward runners for Iona. Another good tackle there by AIC. And a little space out wide here. We'll see where they go.
Ball.
As Colby Marshall, ball 5'8" and 160 pounds, takes the ball into contact, sends the ball back to DeLaura, the team's top try scorer. Merrill again, Petteruti, the captain, unceremoniously dumped. The stand back.
Yellow Jackets with some stinging hits in defense right now, defending their line.
And again, Iona, I'd call for them to keep it tight right here.
Oh, they're just working every little phase, every inch. They're perfectly comfortable with that. Oh, it looks like they may have gotten there.
And they're right on the line here. They're certainly not thinking champagne rugby. They're just thinking about a try. As referee Gilliam calls it up, and we're going to have a scrum here to Iona.
Well, even when they've gone quote-unquote wide, what they've done is if they're on the wing, it's that 2 or 3 guys are around them. Nobody is going alone, and that's critical for Iona. Ball retention, and then get in there with support. But they're hitting as hard as possible, just making the gain line, working your way through the gain line. That's going to work. It's punishing stuff. They're willing to dish it out. AIC is taking it and absorbing it at the moment, but it is hard work.
And I would certainly color us surprised with about 15 minutes to go in this first half of this U-Rugby Bowl game. It's 5-0 to AIC. AIC, one of the vaunted programs in this country.
John, what color is when you're colored surprised? what is it? Is it a green? Is it a yellow? Is it a?
It's fuchsia.
It's fuchsia.
It's fuchsia. Yeah.
There we go. We've settled that long-standing question.
Iona has the ball in, squeezes it forward. That's a stand back. Has put away quickly. Marrow covered with defenders. Still inside the AIC 22. As one of those forward runners comes ahead, and there he goes. I believe it's one of the Delauras. As the ball comes back out there to Scarcella. Only knows one direction to go. We have some players standing wide here as AIC really making a menace of themselves at that breakdown. The ball here coming. Thought it was coming to Iona. We're going to have another scrum here.
Well, AIC is trying to poach the ball in the breakdown, and you'll see on defense, Iona not really. They'll send one guy in. If he can get it, he can get it. For the most part, they're fanning out. AIC trusts their pace to get and cover those outside channels. They also know that they don't have to worry too much about covering the wing. So they'll send more people in to get that turnover. Iona is worried about being exposed in the back line, so they'll fan out.
You know, the co-captain, Scarcella, he looks like he's shot out of a cannon every time he goes into the line there, and that's what you need as a 12. You need that guy testing the defense, asking them questions, but so far, you know, AIC has stood up to the challenge.
We're going to have another scrum here to Iona. Ball quickly moved back,
Get
but
the ball. Here we go. Here we go.
a bit of a mess there, and ball rolling around. I'm not exactly sure what the call is for. We have a penalty here for Iona. And I'm not sure that guy was 10, but we'll find out. Or maybe on the line down there. He might have been pretty close.
Details.
As Iona is looking for the try here. They have no intention of going for post today, I would imagine. Marrow looks to go on his own. Mascola goes back, but turnover there. The ball bounces.
Lost opportunity there for the Gales, and AIC on attack.
AIC quickly on attack here, and that was turned over there great by Royale Jones. The ball moves into Gergel's hands. Gergel, little tip pass. Huge hit from Iona. And Kabir, little chip ahead, sees some space. Again, directly in a touch. I don't think he's really judging these sidelines.
Yeah, Breeze might have caught that one. But I was just thinking, if Iona doesn't score, is that going to be a discouraging thing? You know, you battle, you knock on the door, bash on the door, whatever you want to call it, and if it gets cleared away, does that discourage you? Well, they're still in an attacking position, but they really should have scored right there. They're right on the line just at the last second. They got impatient.
In the words of Steve Thompson, my Maori coach at the New York Rugby Club, he should have put his boot away. Put your boot away, put it in your pocket.
Iona here through John DeLaura. I think AIC has figured out who their jumper is, but no problem there. Oh, Mascola bobbles it up. Good work by AIC. Referee has spotted yet another knock-on in this first half, and we're going to have yet another scrum in this first half.
That was the freshman outside center Mascolo going up for the line out there and couldn't handle it cleanly. But that's the versatility of this kid, and he's a freshman, guys. He's a freshman. Any surprises for you guys so far?
Well, I think that we talked about it probably being close. I am very surprised that it's only the one try. I think I said something like 12-9. I thought we'd see a couple of penalty goals for Iona, and AIC would score at least a couple of times. I guess I'm surprised at how well Iona has defended.
We do have 10 minutes to go in this half, so we'll see where they come. But I'd have to agree with Alex there. I thought this would be a couple more tries on the board, but if I was Iona, I'd be pretty pleased at the moment. They've been able to get in their half, we're able to push them, and here we go again as the ball comes out quickly, and Marquise Williams is forced to pop down the ball. Kabir looks back, finds Magistrali. Magistrali gets to Adams. Adams doesn't look for any teammates and winds up taking into contact. Hasn't put too many passes in yet. A set of forward runners come back.
Well, in his defense, Royale Jones overran him, so he didn't. If he had passed it, it would have been forward.
Werner here puts the ball into the midfield, and that was Nick Franklin, the sophomore we haven't seen yet. New York Rugby Club product.
Yeah, we've got. I'm not going to act like I'm impartial here, fellas. When it comes to the New York Rugby Club and the University of Buffalo, we got a sprinkling and a smattering all over this pitch. Greg Gilliam, my former teammate at the New York Rugby Club, is the referee, so he knows all the dirty tricks as well.
The game is slowed down again here as it's going to be line out to Iona.
And it's not the conditions because it's a spectacular day here in November. Indian summer, Sunsplash Field. Being terrified. We got a burst by Iona.
And that's great. There's Greg Amity. Finds a little chip pass there from Scarcella. Now the ball back out. Mascola again up the middle of the field. Mascola is doing everything that's being asked of him right now for this team. And here comes Iona, having to dig a couple of AIC players away there. Scarcella spots a little space in behind. And Scarcella on his own. Was he taken in the air? We have...
Try.
We've got a try.
Iona College.
Is that a try or is this a try there to Iona for Mike Scarcella? Just a tremendous individual effort there.
Well, right up the middle. One run, quick ball, rip that guy out of the way of the ruck. Quick again, straight up the middle, first channel, and then they go wide and he sees that there's no fullback home, chip over the top. They know this field, they know the bounces. Take the bounce, try.
We got ourselves a dandy, fellas, a dandy. And if you're just tuning in, and hopefully you are, you got to tell folks about this because this kind of thing is special. It just shows the growth of rugby in the United States, and we're all just happy to be part of it.
And we are tied at 5-all here with about 7 to go, and Iona is going to try to stretch this lead. Mascola. Don't have enough notes about him to say anything else. He's been involved in this game so much, but looking to put the kick in.
I think his dad was an Argentinian rugby player.
And it's good, and Iona takes the lead, 7-5 over AIC at this U Rugby Bowl game. AIC, I'm sure, ready to answer.
All right, man. Come on now.
This is a big moment for AIC. See how they respond. See how they get up off the mat. It's been a punching contest so far, and literally both teams back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, with little to show for it really on the scoreboard, which shows the defense that they've been playing.
Magistrali there puts the ball up high, and nice kick there. AIC may push that forward, but referee Gilliam says no, and Werner here finds the big number 1, Skylar Adams, political science major. Ball's out to Kabir. Kabir there puts it into the big number 12, Marquise McIntyre. But referee Gilliam sees that pass slip forward there. And McIntyre, another Pride rugby player there. A number of those guys being watched by their old coach, Tal Bear, today on the sidelines are really making a difference, but just slip forward.
Yeah, it's a nice flat pass. It's what they want to do, but you know, the referee was right there. That's exactly what they wanted to do, though. AIC win that ball in the air, quick ball. Let's go. Let's run a play.
Once again, it is going to be Iona ball.
I think they ought to utilize Matt Jones a little bit more. Than, you know, he's the English kid, if I'm not mistaken. He's the number 8. He's a load off the back of that back row.
Again, pressure from AIC, but able to get the ball out there. The ball in Scarcella's hands. Scarcella moves it to Mascolo. And quickly AIC in there, but not coming in from the right direction, says referee Gilliam, I believe, and gonna have a penalty here.
I think the signal was he's a porpoise. He's a porpoise. I think it was just diving down on the ball, not staying on your feet. And we haven't seen a lot of penalties. We've seen a lot of mistakes, right? We've seen a few knock-ons. The kicks out in the full, I don't think that helped AIC at all. And just, you know, he's like a fumble in the line out, then a fumble in the scrum. And the scrums have been ugly, fun ugly, but ugly. And I think both coaches would say, you know, let's just clean it up a little bit, huh?
Fun ugly. Fun ugly.
Describes most of Matt McCarthy's Saturdays. As here we go, as the ball is up in Mascola's hands. And Mike Marrow comes down with it, and Scarcella only knows one way between 2 points. And ball comes back to Mascola. This seems to be a good set move from there, but it is paying off. As both of their centers are bashing holes, and Marrow thought he saw that hole. Disappears.
The bony Marrow.
Get him down, Corey. Get him. Get the ball. Let's go.
Yeah. Stand back there. Looks the big number 4, Reese Humphrey. Humphrey barrels the ball in. Stand back there looking for someone to go to as the ball goes to Nick Delara, brother of the hooker John. And now we have the ball out wide here to Reese Humphrey.
You gotta stop him. Let's go.
Iona turns the ball over there. AIC, great little work, but Magistrali is just going to power this ball down into some space.
Get the ball. Let's go. Come on now.
As Colby Marshall
Here we go.
fields it.
We gotta play it. Let's go. Go,
And there's Christian Adams with a great take, a little bobble, but he's across midfield as Iona forced to scramble now.
And he was looking straight into that high sun on that catch. Not an easy play.
As the ball comes down into the hands of Nick Franklin. He moves it. There's Jones with a little tip pass there. And breaking through the middle is Nick Rivera, the sophomore flanker. And AIC late in the first half on a charge here. I think they've realized, you know, it's time to play. And the ball goes wide there. Magistrali takes another pass from Kabir. Seem to have a good connection, and Kabir steps in at the scrum half position.
Unofficially about 3 minutes left in this half, John.
And there's Matt Jones. Matt McCarthy says they should use him. They start using him. I don't know who's listening, but here we have a turnover to Iona this time, and Iona forcing AIC back, and we're going to come in to scrum here for Iona.
A way to keep the Iona runners, especially the centers, from piercing that line, or put them on their back foot. Make that big number 8. Take it right to the centers of Iona. That's what I'm doing if I'm AIC.
Come on, Manny.
And we have another scrum here for Iona. Matt Jones makes his way in. I think he was ready for halftime. As we have the 2-minute warning on the board, but referee Gilliam is keeping official time. Let's see if Iona can continue to withstand the scrum pressure coming from this AIC squad.
Greg Gilliam, always a smile on his face, but he was hard on the rugby pitch. He has that like country strength. You know what I mean? Just hits you, and you know you.
What color is country strength?
Country strength is like a deep brown and turns to purple after a while.
Like a nice bruise.
Yeah.
And here we have Iona set to put the ball in again. Standback getting a lot of practice on his put-ins today. Ball quickly back to Pederudi's feet, but bobbled ball, and here goes some more tight play as a stand back forced to carry it on his own. Takes a generous roll. And the big hit comes in there from Tommy Clark as Greg Amity continues to carry the ball forward. Ball's in Merrill's hands.
Great hair on that ball carrier.
Greg Amity with the hair. And the ball comes out there to Corey Gardner, another Bishop Hendricken player. They're both second rows from that Rhode Island program. And the ball comes to Merrill. They get a little room wide if they want it now, but the well-coiffed Amity takes the ball in again.
I don't know if I call him well-coiffed.
And they're stand back looking for some room there. And he's hauled down by an AIC forward.
We should be in the final seconds, probably under a minute here right now, officially.
Iona has withstood an AIC challenge there. Still leads 7-5 as the ball gets moved back out there. And here we have a little bit of a scuffle.
You know, this is the result of the fact Iona has played West Point and Kutztown and Penn State. They're not afraid. They've seen a lot of really big, scary teams that score from 95 meters out, all that stuff. They can handle it. They're not just sort of worrying about it. As a result, they haven't backed down at all. And AIC, what do you say at halftime? You turn around and say, guys, relax. You still got 40 minutes. You have the capability to score 4 tries in about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
But you don't have to, right? Don't force it. Go score a try. Just go score one, see how it goes.
Great point. Couldn't agree more. I mean, and that's one of the great things about these sort of conference matchups is that, you know, we have a couple of teams here from Rugby East and the ECRC. And, you know, we're seeing what these conferences amount to. And, you know, the great competition that Iona plays is really a factor here.
And this is what's important on the lower levels of rugby, the grassroots levels of rugby, to have these kinds of competitions growing, taking place, players getting to test themselves. As an athlete, you want to know how you stand against the better teams.
A penalty for Iona here as they move the ball forward. I heard somebody say something about a yellow card, but I'm not sure. As we're going to have possibly the last play of the game here with an Iona lineout. I'm sure Iona would love to go in with some more points.
Did we miss a yellow?
Okay, our mathematician Alex Goff is able to count out both teams. And again, Mascolo comes up there, and Mike Marrow goes for a run this time. As Greg Amity comes in and clears it off. Stand back there finds Mascolo. They'll move off their line out there. Quick ball to Marrow. Marrow's looking for some space in behind there, and there certainly is. As Iona comes down with the ball, can't see the number, just move back in there.
They turn it over,
Colby
John.
Marshall, and a turnover at a crucial moment here in the dying seconds of this half.
Nice defense from AIC, getting that ball in a crucial moment.
We had Nick Rivera turn the ball over there and take it forward, and AIC on the run. Iona able to reset their defense here as Gurgle moves the ball on. Big pot of forward sitting out there. The attempt at the chip, probably ill-advised.
Put the boot away. Put the boot away.
Now the ball comes wide. Only 3 runners out there, so we'll see what they're going to do. Let's try to put it back over there for the freshman Royale Jones to run onto, but ball rolls into touch.
Not sure why you'd give possession away there, especially when you're approaching midfield. Put your head down and run it, or pass it, but do not kick it away, specifically if you're not sure about your foot. Easier said than done from up here.
Let's go, AIC, come on! Come on,
Here,
AIC,
half's not over yet. We're going to have another Iona line out there.
So we do have 4 we need on AIC.
AIC seems to be a man down.
Kabir is out.
Jihad Kabir on the bench. That's interesting. Normally not an ill-disciplined player as Scarcella finds his way through a couple of defenders again. Stand back. Grabs a slippery ball.
You know, Alex, you had said earlier, have a reason to kick, right? Some of both, you know, ignorance was wasted on the youth. Oscar Wilde, right?
Another pick and go there by the Iona forwards. And with a man advantage here, and particularly with playmaker Kabir out of the game, this could be pretty interesting as Merrill pounds the ball down.
I butchered that Oscar Wilde quote. It's youth is wasted on the young, not ignorant. Nothing about ignorance.
Ignorantly wasted as Gilliam calls for halftime. And it is Iona 7, AIC 5 here at the U Rugby Bowl Championships. We'll be back with the second half. I'll go in and I'm going to talk about how I have the holy trilogy of rugby writers from the rugby media. This is American Rugby, Rugby Wrap-Up, and the Golf Rugby Report. Surrounded by greatness. And then I'm going to go to you and talk about that. And we'll pick it off.
Doing what?
I can recognize Dubé.
Hey fans, congratulations to Eagle Impact Rugby Academy and Play Rugby USA for 2 really excellent sevens matches today. Terrific start for Play Rugby. They won the first game and ERA won the second game. Congratulations on Iona College and
to take advantage of this penalty that with being with the sin binner and right now they're two of them up the gut.
There's Dubé, newly into the game, the prop Nandipa Dubé.
We're going to present the game ball. Luke Persanis.
Anthony looking to move away. And there is Muscolo taking it in once again. And we're moving a little wider here in this second half here as Iona gets the ball forward, but a knock on there by AIC. And we're going to have a scrum here to Iona. And here we're bringing in from This is American Rugby, Ryan Trost. Ryan's had a chance to talk to some of the coaches at halftime. Ryan, give us your thoughts.
So, both teams are competing really hard, and for Iona, that's exactly how they wanted it to go. They've been priding themselves on their puncher's chance all year, and when I asked Bruce about that, is this the puncher's chance you're looking for, he said, you know what, brother. So, he feels good. I asked him about the subs that he had in for the regular starters, and he says, we're 75, I feel good about that. As long as we don't turn over the ball, they're fine. Asked the AIC their thoughts early on. It was good. They liked playing in their end. They thought they were neutralizing the Iona scrum. But that later part of that half, they were catching tackles instead of putting the shoulder in and getting a good line speed, and that really burned them a bit. So he wants to see a lot more better possession in the second half, and Bruce wants to see just more of the same.
Thank you for the game, and we'll be going to Ryan the game. And AIC quick to pick it up. And we'll see where we go in the second half here as AIC looks to capitalize. Jones stepping in at the first receiver position in the absence of Jihad Kabir. Werner on the touchline there. Iona trying to drive him out and successfully do. Iona line out.
Yeah, they're hard on attack right now, but AIC weathering this storm with that penalty, John, and it looks as though, is it over? I can't really see with the glare here. Is the penalty over? back in.
Kabir is not back in yet. He's got about another 4 or 5 minutes.
That's it.
Here we go to Laura to put the ball in at the Iona lineout. Santi Mascola.
John Ortiz with a nice fend on that run, it looks like.
That was Nathan Ortiz. Knee down there by Iona, and we're going to come back here.
The old not wear the number trick.
Yes. Know John Ortiz quite well. Wonderful human being. A little shorter than that guy that just carried the ball. But we're going to make do here. Rugby Rebels certainly used to this. And we're going to have a scrum to AIC. Interestingly, in the absence of Kabir, we have Nick Franklin stepping in at the scrum half position, and the scrum half, Curtis Werner, moving out to the right half position. So a little rearrange here as we also have Big Matt Jones standing in the center. So this is some interesting switches here. And I would look for Jones to come up with this ball, but no mistake there on the scrum from Franklin, and ball into touch again. I really just don't think AIC is used to playing in a field with this little room on the sides. They keep kicking into touch and running into touch, you know, just creating problems.
Well, you've got that Iona defense that we talked about in the first half. They are well-versed in protecting the outside. They've got some strong defenders and runners of their own in their own right in the backs. And, you know, you're just going to have a battle for the rest of the match.
And here we have into touch again.
This has to be a boost for AIC right now, because they're really kind of dictating the flow of the game a man down.
They really want to just wind that out and get through that and get Kabir, because he's such a game changer back involved. And here we have a line out for AIC with Blake Gurgle. Ball up there into Savannah's hands. Again to Jones, moves away. And there is Marcus McIntyre who gets the ball in the contact. Werner now back in with the position. Adams moves it back in. And there is Nick Franklin, the center. Back out here into a forward team heading in the right direction for this AIC team. Terrible.
Go, Christian!
And there is one, and awarded, I believe, or a penalty. Whoop. Got a whistle
Christian
here.
Adams, John, just willing himself with about 25 Iona tacklers hanging on him. 25.
25. I think I saw Bruce McLean in there as well.
It was a gale of gales.
As we come back in with a penalty for Iona back on our line. Just about 7 minutes into this half. Should be almost done with Kabir's yellow card, but I think in the meantime we're going to have this penalty move. AIC sets up rather slowly here. Got a couple of pods of forwards. Got some runners out wide. See where they elect to go. Gillian over there, but I think number 4, Tommy Clark. But they retain it, and the ball is in Franklin's hands. Runner. AIC, really, you know, this is going to be a test of this Iona defense.
Yeah, there.
The backs at AIC and a couple of the big guys up front, stuff like that. But last couple of years, if you asked the previous coach Josh Macy, you asked the coach now, Rob
Curtis Werner.
And he's a senior, he's very smart. And with all those bodies flying around, it's his job to get some quick ball out to those backs.
And gents, that try, it was just in front You know, just last week, Kurt Werner was bagging groceries. Oh no, that's a different story. Yeah.
I think this one is a bit better than that one. And we're going to come back here in Iona with and for all reasons.
This Kurt Werner could very well be groceries.
Kick. Joseph Lewis. Here, we'll just, add process from AIC. Not looking to do too much as Joseph Kabir is back in the game after his penalty against AIC for coming in the side. And, they managed to get some points there with Kabir in the bin.
What's so bad about bagging groceries? It's an honorable profession.
No knocking on bagging groceries, I'm saying. As a college student, he could very well be bagging groceries right now. I worked the food service line at the University of Buffalo. That was fun.
All right, that's good. That's good. I just tried to do journalism jobs during college, but they didn't pay.
Yeah, I know. Writing for the UB Spectrum was not something that paid.
Journalism still doesn't pay all that much. And here we have a penalty, going to be an Iona lineup just outside of the AIC zone, so they have a chance to pull ahead again here as they're 5 points down.
I beg to differ. We are rich beyond our imaginations being able to do this, gentlemen.
Imagination being the key word.
We have some lineup changes for Iona. A couple of. That's going to be see how this lineup functions with all those changes.
One of my favorites, man, Kifa Dubé is in there, number 21. And here's Iona with a huge Bruce McLean intended move headed towards the line. Hold up, referee Gilliam's going to bring it back. Scrum Iona.
Well, he was very clear. He was right on there and knew exactly what he was looking for. But we don't have, and I was told by Bruce McLean very quickly what the changes were. I think Scarcella hurt his shoulder. Was that not the call? And we've got a change in the front row. We'll see how that settles. Very important scrum for Iona this early in the this early in the second half. And see how they can keep it together and keep that drive going.
And we are. And here we have the scrum to Iona.
Got a Darrell Hall and John
One of my favorites is here comes stand back with an ill-advised option pass. Doesn't go to hand there. It's going to be an AIC get out of jail lineout.
When you're young and you're playing this game, you tend to try to do a little too much, and sometimes at the wrong time. That was one of those examples. He wishes he had that one back.
Stand back, the Greenwich High School product. Not getting it done with that one.
Greenwich High School, of course, the well-coached team of Broadway Joe Kelly.
Rockaway native, Greenwich resident, Joe Kelly.
With the bowl haircut.
And here we have a scrum to AIC.
I don't know, I call him Uranium Joe Kelly.
True.
Joe. And here, held up in his own line is Christian Adams. And Christian Adams just sneaks outside. Tough position here with a small try zone. Space found though. And number 13, Franklin holds with his iron, but AIC has to look their way and hollering for it. Make up for the see what happens here as Werner does a little field and Royale Jones, the freshman.
Penalty to AIC.
Penalty offsides, AIC.
Yeah, in no man's land, I'm not sure it was the wing back for Iona. But he was in no man's land. You have to make that decision. Come up on the ball hard. Come on, he didn't. And that one hopper, was that Jones? Who who says they call me the lad.
All right, let's go.
A little bit of chippiness creeping into this game. Rugby's trying to keep a down target. That was the whole discussion earlier in the first half. And we saw Jones trying to get that ball quickly for a quick tap. It was sort of ripped away by an Iona player and sort of rolled into touch. Jones says, hey, they're throwing the ball away. Legitimate complaint from him, but no call for that and just let's take the penalty. But look at this game now and the emotion that's happening back and forth, back and forth. Iona should have scored in the corner. Now they're defending.
Come on, Blake.
AIC with the lineout, slow to come. Iona was in no hurry to get them a ball to get this game started, as Iona's preferring to, slow it down a little bit here. As Corey Monson calling lineout calls here. Here's second defender Tony Clark. And now he's coming in his hands. Jones. Not quite handled there by Franklin. Looking for the same side corner. As little guys like to do, take it into the biggest guy on the field, on the other team, and we're in a pick and go battle here with AIC.
You got to be a little nutty to be a scrum half, right? Well, let's be honest.
The big fella Jones takes it and just settles it in, and there's Warner, spots some space in behind. And let's see what happens here as Merrill goes back on it, but ball rolls into touch. AIC loses that possession. It's going to be a lineout to Iona, but very close to their own zone.
I tell you what, I said 12-9 at halftime, and it's 55 minutes in, it's 12-7. I'll take that, right? That's pretty close. Iona College, I mean, it really, you almost want to look at this performance and say that almost any college team, you have no excuse now, because these guys are undersized and they're not necessarily pedigree, quote-unquote, talented or something like that. They are working so hard at this.
Get the ball! Get the ball!
AIC push back with Iona coming down for the ball.
That was a big line out take by the freshman Mascolo. And now they're throwing the ball down. See if they can do something here, guys.
Amity came from the flanker position to replace the center, and now looks away. And Iona rolls forward a little bit in their own zone again. They have decided they want to play, and ball nearly taken quickly there as Iona gets a penalty. AIC was offsides according to referee Gilliam.
That doesn't mean offside. That means
What does that mean?
the lineout was not in
That means
straight.
first down.
Well,
So yeah,
first
he's
down.
just like down here, man.
they called it as a penalty, so
Confusing me.
go with what I saw. As Marrow finds a safe touch. Iona fans wrestling for the ball over there as we're going to have just at midway a lineout here for Iona.
Come on, guys! Get the ball! Get the ball! Turn it up! Turn it up!
I just want to say this is terrific.
Alec Baldwin cameo there as Iona puts in the ball in midfield, and Mascolo can't get that one. I think AIC may have figured out who their target is in the lineout.
Clark went right up there and smacked it back and just rolled into touch. It would be interesting to see if they're going to continue to contest that. I think they want it. Again, it's a turnover. So that would put them in a really nice attacking position if they could steal a couple of those.
Iona winds up making a yard or two off of that, but the ball's back in touch, and here we go again. Mascola again up, but no problem. Can't get his hand to it. And here goes that maul. A bit too far off from the trail line to go all the way, but you never know what these boys are going to do as they're drawing in that AIC defense. Real power here from this set of forwards. Ball finally hits the deck, and they pull the penalty there as it's pulling down by the AIC forwards. And Iona has a penalty just about 40 meters out, or 30 meters out.
Gotta love that ball. Bruce is going to want that to be executed correctly. They put student body forward on that, and the only way to stop it really is to bring it down and commit a penalty. Iona is in shouting distance. They're only one score down. They're going to work very, very hard and work their way down the field. It's going to take them a long time to score, but they score here, they can get ahead. They can put pressure back on AIC. This is a very tense game, really fun to watch.
And Marrow tips it down in the sponsors row there. We're going to have just inside the 22. line out for Iona as Delara sets himself up with Coach McLean standing right behind him.
You know, if they score a try in the corner here, and Mascolo is the one that kicks the conversion, I've seen him kick from that angle. It's going to be ironic because he doesn't have the confidence to kick for touch, but he can kick from the angle and on these big kicks.
Iona says more of the same as they get a mug on. His shirt's been ripped off and crowd, but now slides right through there as not John Ortiz wearing number 17. Takes the ball. Big number 1, Don Colasacco, the Greenwich High School data professional race car driver, takes the ball in. And Iona really getting some tight phases here. We'll see where we go as they can go again. Tricky going on here. AIC has a lot of defenders jammed in there. We'll see where this goes. Dubé, the replacement, takes the ball in, nursing a bad shoulder, but here for the Iona cause. And once again, for the ball, we have an arm out here from Gilliam. I believe a penalty advantage, but there we go. As we come back, penalty for Iona. No try, but another shot at this. What are we expecting here, boys?
You know what? They got to just do more of the same. Be patient with the ball. Go faces if you have to. Control the ball. You cannot lose possession here.
No complaints there. That's exactly what they got to do. They got to, whether you call for a scrum and you go and line out in the mall, or you just tap it and run your forwards forward, it's all the same thing. Suck everybody in and continue to punish them in those interior channels.
Here we have a quick tap. Dubé takes it forward. Latifa Dubé. Great story, but maybe turned over to the AIC. Puts it forward, and Iona forced a scrum. I thought it would have been a turnover. Rolling it on, and Mero moves across the field. There goes Nick Delara taking the ball in. Now trying to move a little. Takes another ball, does the 5'8", 195-pounder. Now the ball is in the Mero's hands, but he doesn't have a lot of runners here outside of Mero. He's got to be careful. Playing a tough game and running to go wide there can have its mistakes.
There's a turnover.
And there it comes as the ball gets knocked forward. Corey Mumpson in a bit of bother on the field here as referee Gilliam slows it down for a minute.
Big turnover. Big turnover on the part of AIC to stop that drive by Iona. And now the clock is starting to become a factor. I know it's only a 5-point match, but with the nature of the beast here, the way these guys have withstood each other on defense, this is a big turn of events.
Well, Skylar Adams was right in the middle of all of that. Corey Monson was right in the middle of all of that. Nick Delara, these guys are really battling to defend against an approach that they haven't really seen. If they've seen this tactic before, they haven't seen it done as well as Iona's doing it. They usually are able to turn it over and go coast to coast and score. They haven't been able to do that, and they've been patient, and they've been physical, and they've been good technique, keeping it low and not getting in penalty trouble, things like that. So AIC, goal line defense, very, very impressive because it's something they haven't had to do in a while.
And here we have AIC with a scrum inside their own half after that turnover. Again, Rugby Bowl Series. This is John Boker with Golf Rugby Reports, Alex Rugby Wrap-Ups, Matt McCarthy. This is American Rugby's Ryan Trost running around here somewhere. We really have the holy trilogy. From Kabir. Kabir set somebody loose. As AIC has decided they want to show what's going on here and draw a quick penalty, not releasing that by the Gales. The Gale wins, kind of knocking their papers down as they go quick. Here's Kabir.
Interesting strategy there. They didn't go for the kick. Instead, they kept the ball, and they're inside their own half the field, and that's going to be a knock-on by Matt Jones.
Well, that was a huge knock-on there by Jones, but they may have been offsides there. That rushing defense just getting ahead of themselves a little bit there. If that wasn't offsides, they were a step behind and Mero got a hold of that ball, we'd have a different story here right now.
Playing the advantage there. spinning it wide. Didn't get it, but at least they have now the ability to kick downfield. Not a great kick, though. Not a great kick.
Great kick that time from Warner, but we're going to have an AIC line out here. They've had to replace Corey Momsen. Seems to have hurt his shoulder. Not sure who yet.
Antina in Wisconsin is not going to be happy with that kick.
Sorry, Antina. You'll try better next time. It's just inside the Iona half. We're going to have an AIC line out here. Slow down here as we pay attention to a couple of injuries. Referee Gilliam says we're set to go. Waves hello to the defense. And the ball's up in close hands.
Here we go.
And here is a big McIntyre. And here we have a set of forwards coming up, and I believe it's Gogol with a quick pass there. Doesn't go to hand. And they come back to him. Works his way through a kick. And a quick throw there by AIC. Well, they can do it too.
I think that was Malik Walker that came in there and as will instantly.
And he's in there. As the ball's come back AIC way again. Kabir chips it through. Finds a little space there, but stand back. Back on it. Stand back forced to kick. Takes a little shot there. Opts to run into the crowd rather than the space. And Werner again finds a way over there because that's comes up with this as ball rolls in a touch, and we're going to have an Iona lineout. Back to the zone again.
Groundhog Day all over again, and Yogi Berra with deja vu all over again. You're kicking away possession. What the Sam Hill?
I don't have a problem with that. No, they went to the corner. It's either a chase, you pick it up and you're scoring, or it's a line out, and then they seem to be contesting the lineup, but they pin Iona back there. I'm impressed with his patience with this. The guy who's perhaps a little bit, Christian Adams, trying to break through the tackles, trying to score that winning try. He's got to chill. I think everybody's got to chill a little bit.
Iona goes to Scola again and gets the moving ball here. Takes him about 15 meters up. Amity, the flanker comes center. Ball down, and we have Gilliam calling a penalty there for, well, we're not even the line. I call offside.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. In a 12-7 match, 3 points matter. You could make it a 2-score game, right? You're pressing, you have control of the ball, you're asking questions left and right. Keep it.
Folks, I'm standing in between these two. If they keep disagreeing, I'm worried about what's going to happen. I'm not sure how my money's on that.
You ignorant, misguided.
Come on, AIC, let's go! Your game!
And here we go. Ball moves downfield. It's going to be an Iona hooded. Ball up. Scola, not the as in they can, but offsides there.
Yeah, right. You're 10 meters back. You've got to wait for the ball to move off the mark. They didn't. They just came running in there. So really kind of a dumb first penalty by Iona.
I think some of these Iona players might not be expected to be a 12-7. Stand back, that's a pass. It's able to make a couple of meters there.
The kick didn't find touch. I'm not sure. I can't tell if he found touch and it was just a quick in, but they'll try to get that one further out so there's no play. Counterattack from Iona.
He missed touch.
Yeah.
Referee blows and we get a little bit of handbags in here. Tight game. And these players are none too thrilled with each other.
You can feel it in the crowd. This is an electric atmosphere here. You got just a perfect day for rugby. people are still filing in, and you got to battle. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. We're just very vocal fans here. And it's really again looking to
second action, which often you'll see, but there must have been something that probably prompted that, and the referee probably saw that also.
Anybody? You know, we got a prop going off in Kawasaki who's been a big runner. We got Nick Franklin, who's been, you know, really part of this AIC team. Bigger loss?
That's a tough question to answer. At this point, you know, you've got the battles up front, and I'd say that, if anything, AIC might have the advantage here.
Iona, but we have, I believe, a knock on there. Scrum Iona. Oh, yeah, 100%. Scrum here, yet again, going to be Iona ball. Prop there. Yep, this could make a difference.
Yeah, you know, it's if you have it planned for your prop at a certain time, which is on a high level of rugby, that's one thing. But this instance, with your heart and soul in there, coming out, that's a little bit different. We'll see how it pans out.
And we do have a replacement coming in here. We'll see who Coach McLean. I think he's down on front rows at the moment. So we're going to get into to get this done. This could make an interesting change here.
This is like a good old-fashioned kind of like, you know, one of those movie upset movies, like Mystery Alaska, Lace Boys, things like that. You know, the team you expect is the team that has the game still.
Here comes the back of the team there, but winds up turning over to AIC. AIC wastes no time looking for the possession. Kabir putting a chase in there. Marshall has nothing to do but kick it up, and here we have an AIC attack. Very close in. As it looks like it was Jihad Kabir.
Yeah, we've got some veteran leadership in that locker room again with the coaching staff of Iona and Jeff Rosenberg and Jim Daly, old war horses. See if their influence will pay off for you.
Looking for his knee down, but one of the sides doesn't come out too much. I can see the hands in from here, and we're going to have a hands-in penalty against Iona. Your AIC right now, time winding down to the 42. Now the Iona player was not happy with the drop
absence of Colasacco opened it up a little bit for Matt Jones.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they started to hit those channels, and they're losing. They lost a couple of other big tacklers, big bodies. Really, at some point they identified that they go straight ahead. Wide was not working. Defense by Iona has been terrific, but you know, we kind of thought the dam would have broken about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Antina's dancing in Sheboygan. He just got on the list. Right? Great match. Just great match. We've seen a little bit of everything. We've seen some great runs with some great tackling, some great defense. Both teams put on a show for us here today, guys.
The show is still going on here. That Iona defense has no intention of letting down. AIC tries to power the ball forward. You got AIC is going to play a bit of position here, but maybe not as Kabir is looking for a pass on to Matt Jones. As we take a hit there as AIC puts down. The ball is in there. Stand back. See a good result in this bowl game. Tournament director Steve Ciano looking wonderful for that. Steve, you're a large man. Get out of the way. Thank you.
I'm a large man.
Thank you, Steve Ciano. Living legend. As Pierce Mara, the referee, comes walking in.
He's going to walk right through our frame of
Fairfield Prep graduate. As AIC, another penalty, and Blake Gergel had a great game at hooker. Mishandled there. Skylar Adams, the big mishandled the ball. Who would have thought?
You know what? I've been completely wrong on just about everything so far today. So yeah, just blame me.
I can't do Kabir because he got carded. Warner.
Quick note about John DeLara, who's throwing it in as a hooker. Bruce McLean says he basically epitomizes everything we want with Iona rugby. And it's one heck of a match today. And just as I said,
Malik Walker, the very big sophomore. Spills the ball forward. He's headed to the zone there. He's a little too nasty with that.
yeah, Malik Walker happens to be a sophomore. How about that for a scary stat?
And referee Gilliam.
Lots going on in the booth here. We've got folks coming in, asking questions.
Cement. I'm still player of the game. I got 3 of them. Clark or Werner or Adams.
Ron, notice come here for Iona, it looks like, although Standback seems to be on the wrong side of it.
I have no problem with either one.
No problem. Thank you.
Standback goes around to right side.
Okay. Antina.
What?
For Antina.
Referee Gilliam whistles it up. We're going to settle in again here, just around the 2-minute warning here at this U Rugby Bowl game here at Mozilla Field. Iona College. Get ready for rugby all afternoon, folks, as in a little while you're going to see see the University of Mary Washington, an up-and-coming program, take on the Temple Owls out of Minneapolis. And we'll check action. Rugby Raffles, the always on the
No. Just no.
And great call of the game goes to Matt McCarthy.
That was Alex Goff's head spinning around.
As a full drill down the field. Iona looking a little unsure of themselves at the moment as AIC works it back. Want to end this game with a flourish.
All right, guys, we got to start talking about man of the match, right?
Just some great players. Just a great game. But let's start with Iona here. Down at the moment. Give us one of your players you thought was great.
He didn't get to finish the game, so the guy who stepped in for him in center, who was playing flanker, Greg Evans, also played terrific.
For Iona, for you, Mr. McCarthy.
Moving into play, really tackle. But there are 15 players that I could pick as man of the match for this one.
I would have to stick with Muscola there. Lineouts, kickoffs, running in the center. It's just a great play.
He's been his reading of the game and reading of the game, making it clear is the fact that you've got a kid who has got a lot of individual talent, and he's trying to use his teammates. He's not coming back from the Olympic Training Center, and so I'm going to run in trash for 90 minutes. And that was a beautiful setup for Adams. Adams has worked very hard, and one of the guys who should get a nod, he's really tried to battle through, and I think of the backs, Adams has been great.
I think you're really going to say this Iona defense has been outstanding. That's really the first, what you would call a soft try, and I hesitate to even call it that we've seen all game. What an outstanding defensive effort by Iona. But finally, at the end of the game, they let one out.
Game's over, White. Game's over, White. This was an emotional battle, and it was a lot tighter than the final score indicates.
Conversion is good. Curtis Werner.
Well, the score is now 26-7. It doesn't reflect what the game was. It was on a knife edge until the last 12 minutes or so. We know AIC can score quickly. They've finally scored sort of a quick try. But man, this has been really fun, and it shows the ball series, the matchups are often so very good, so very well constructed. You say, are these teams going to match up well? Iona and AIC don't really know each other. It was almost perfect.
And a kickoff there, knocked forward by an AIC player, but ball into touch. And we are going to have an Iona lineout. I would say Mascola is going to be the recipient of this one again. We'll see if Iona can end with a consolation try. Really, scoreline does not reflect the quality of this game to start off this U-Rugby Bowl series.
Some impressive players on both sides today, and some great futures ahead of them. So we should keep an eye on both of these teams going forward.
Advantage here for Iona as Iona forward in that maul. Working the ball to the back there. The Gales headed toward the line there. AIC wants to, keep this lead. But early there, as Standback thinks about going quick, but they slow down just a little bit coming in from the side there.
A lot of controversy going on in the booth right now about our man of the match selections. We're going to have to go to the Supreme Court to get a decision, folks. Something about Chads and
yeah, it's going to come out 4-4. But for AIC, who are your players?
But you see, I'm the one filling out the form. So I can do whatever I want.
yeah, he's got the conch.
That guy's 9/10 of the law. There's a lot of ball here and hammer it in. That would really epitomize their season. Surprised they didn't. Nandifa Dubé piles it in there. I thought they were nearly going to get a penalty as the ball comes to Marrow, but a bit looking for some space, can't find it. And ball still alive here as Standback moves it into the number 8 Penarudi's hands.
I've got it.
Iona.
Assuming Iona. 3 for the winning team, 2 for the losing team.
Standback moves it here. Nick DeLara comes in. Ball goes in a touchdown. And we're still alive here with no time on the clock. But I spoke too soon.
Some terrific rugby. They turned it on in the second half, but very late in the second half to actually open it up to a point where refreshingly transparent move by Coach Bruce McLean. And that's about it.
And that's it from the UAB Bears for this game. We have
That's on. Let's get it seems like the meters are already going. Microphones are being checked as we speak. You have them muted. Is it muted? Are you hearing it? I'm talking to it again. Check 1, 2, check. Checking the microphones. Check 1, 2. It's working. It's just maybe it's too close to your mouth or something. There, you do it. Check 1, 2, check. Checking the microphones. Check. Alright, so now that works. But what I'm really confused about... It sounds like when it cuts out when... Yeah. I don't know if it's too close. It's not bad. It's working. That's all. No, it's definitely working. It's working. It's not like... It's definitely working. Okay. So now my next goal... Two headsets into there? Or? Well, the thing is, now I'm not getting... My thing is now my phone into here isn't working. I can try a different... What do you need that for? This is for them to hear themselves through the headsets. They've been doing it. 1, 2, check. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
We're going to go with Iona first. So the first MVP.
Do you want to do the second one about the third one, or do you want to? Ross, do you want to do this one as well? Because I can sing this one. I can do this one too. Well, I can do it too. I don't care. I can sing out or whatever.
Congratulations.
I obviously would like to get for this one.
And the second MVP from Iona College.
That's fine. I will. I'll sit that one out. It's okay. All right. If you want to change out halftime too, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I've got all the like stuff on these guys. We don't sound anything like tea and not enough fucking. Yeah. Coffee or anything? I want to go to VIP or tea.
two from Iona on the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for reading.
You guys are all winners in my
Starts at number 8 or something. Grace!
He said that the 1 through 15 is accurate. So I'm going to go with what the number is.
Okay. I'm going to email this to Mary Washington. With the pronunciations. The roster starts at number 8.
Probably. Who's doing it?
Hey, would you do us the other? Would you do the outside? Yeah. Over the. Why we fixed it or something? We're working in Europe. Oh, another bunch. We only need 2 of us then, right? We only need 2 of us? I think they solved the problem.
Solved what problem?
My arm is so tired. I've been mailing 2 headsets.